1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me right now? Bob Dylan. Okay, you must hear the harmonica. I am live. Touch my tears like you have no place to go. But there's so much they don't know about apple scrubs. Apple scrubs, apple scrubs. How I love you, how I love you. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Can you hear me? Sounds good. Okay, I think we're in business here. Thank you so much for joining me on this nice, beautiful Sunday afternoon, at least where I am. Really grateful for you guys. You're the reason that I make these covers, because you make this a really fun thing I do, and it's a great community that we've built here, in my opinion. So today I'm just taking questions. If you guys have any requests, like you want to learn a song, nice guitar. Yes, this is my new Ibanez Japanese copy of a J200 guitar. Look at those inlays, those little not inlays, whatever you call them, pickguard decorations, accentuations. Yeah, so today is just going to be the same as my other live streams. Just want to say hi to Leo, Dorkel's here, Tom Papalardo. Is there an instrument you can't play? Save some for the rest of us. I can't play most instruments. I think I've figured out guitar to an extent, but I can't do woodwinds or brass or violin or most instruments. Very nice of you, though. A question from Sam, different Sam. How did you get access to all the rad gear? I'm lucky that I've been gifted a lot of this gear, and I've just saved up a lot of my money. Yeah, over time I've been playing for over 15 years now, so it's just kind of, acquired a bunch of stuff. It's becoming a problem. Are we expecting a Love Me Do cover from, hey, the Bottles? Yeah, Love Me Do. Oh, maybe because I was playing harmonica, you asked that. Eventually, definitely. So, let's see. What harmonica is that? This is a Hohner Special 20, if you missed me doing Apple Scruffs by George Harrison. But some housekeeping first. I wanted to say thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. I wanted to say also that I have Super Chat on today, so if I'm not getting to your questions and you really want me to answer it, that's a sure way for me to answer your questions and for you to, help out my channel. I'd really appreciate that. But I will try to get to as many questions now as I can. What pedal did you use for the Les Paul on Wah-Wah? That was from Oscar. That is a pedal, I have it somewhere in the back there, called a Tees RMC Wah, which is based off of the original Clyde McCoy Vox Wah. So similar to what the Beatles used, probably. It's, they used a Vox wah-wah, so it's, yeah, definitely authentic to their sort of thing. Are you guys hearing me? Like you're hearing me. I love your J200 copy. Hey Henry, would you ever considering doing live covers such as Concert for Bangladesh? Yes, I love that concert so much. That was from Devon. Definitely going to do some of that. I've actually already covered, along with Jacob K on his channel, we did Just Like a Woman, so like a Dylan cover. Let's see, would you ever play the solo from Here Comes the Sun? Yeah, I did that on my channel. So that's like a lost guitar solo that wasn't on the final album version. It goes something like this. Out of tune, but that's essentially what it's like. Am I coming across okay, guys? Tom says, that's really pretty. Is that a cover or are you jamming? Not sure what he means there. Oh, he's probably talking about, I was doing Beautiful Girl by Harrison earlier. It goes like... So if you don't know that song, go check it out. It's called Beautiful Girl by George Harrison from his album 33 and a Third. He did an acoustic demo of it for All Things Must Pass on his J200. Dorkel says, God, that guitar is incredible. Thank you. Yeah, this was a really affordable knockoff of a J200, and it's really amazing. Wasn't very expensive. The only difference is the back and sides are mahogany instead of maple, so it doesn't have as much that bright attack. Also, it's a little bit thicker of a body. It's really big. I don't know if you can tell, but it just sounds amazing. It's just a really great acoustic. I'm really, really happy about it. A lot more covers to come from this one. Dark Sweet Lady is very nice too. Yeah, that's another Harrison solo song that's kind of overlooked about his wife Olivia. Jam QC says, hey man, I really appreciate your covers. They give me an in-depth look at what the Beatles did nearly 60 years ago. It helps me since I try to closely emulate the Beatles' tone. That's really, really sweet of you. yeah, that's what I just hope that my covers get across is like, I hope I'm doing them justice. You know, I hope that it's maybe revealing a way to play a song that you didn't realize how to play. So, yeah, thank you for that. Um, David Montes is here. Everyone say hi to David. He is an incredible drummer who has his own channel. He does Beatles covers pretty much exclusively, and his tones are just like scary. You hear the sound of his snare, and it's like, oh my god, it's Ringo. He says, "Love Beautiful Girl," one of my favorites of George's. Yeah, thank you, David. That's a really good one. Let's see. Love to hear the Your Blues solo. Yeah, so, oh, Jacob K is here. All right. Everyone say hi to Jacob K. So I'm going to get my electric now so that I can do more of that sort of stuff. I have my casino here. Say goodbye to the J200 for now, but it's here if you guys have any requests. I'm going to turn on my basement amp, so 1 second. Okay, someone was requesting Your Blues cover. I just wanted to say, for anyone who's just joining, thank you so much for being here. I'm really grateful for you guys just making my life a little more fun, talking Beatles, and all the comments you leave are great. If you want me to answer your question, I'm going to try to get to as many as possible. But if you wanted to super chat me, I have that function now, so I can ensure that your question or your request will be played or answered. So here's my casino. Hope it's not too loud. Let's do a little Your Blues cover here. And the solo goes a little something like this. And then George Harrison comes in. Probably played it a little bit better on my cover than live, because that's just me. I'm gonna try to get to all your questions, guys. Would you do any Kinks covers from Zachary Brown? Absolutely. I just did some Kinks songs with Jacob K on his channel, so you can check that out. But definitely, I love the Kinks. Dave Davies used a casino for Waterloo Sunset. Amazing song. Let's see. I don't want to get behind on these questions. Let's see. Your blues solo section is great. One of my favorites. Absolutely. You get a John and a George solo. So, you know, best of both worlds. Will this video stay up after the live stream ends? That's from Oscar. Yes. You can watch this anytime. So if you need to go, you know, I'll miss you, but you can always watch me again as many times. And you play the bass of Two of Us. That's from Leo Hesse. Yeah, he's saying do a cover of it eventually, and I will. But essentially, George had his Telecaster on the neck position. It wasn't a real bass. He rolled his tone knob off and did this sort of stuff. So, very creative stuff. Was the casino part of Don't Let Me Down muted or just softened up barely to hear it? So, as with a lot of Get Back era stuff, John, I'm going to just back up so you can see this. He was on the bridge position into a clean Fender amp like I'm running, and he rolled the tone down. So here's the casino bridge pickup on full. And then he would roll it down, the tone knob down. So that's a lot of what you hear on the Rooftop and Get Back is John, bridge pickup, tone down. Even actually the Get Back solo too. Same thing. He rarely went to the neck pickup, at least in the movie, so that's kind of interesting. So yeah, Don't Let Me Down, John, his casino is in there. Let's see. Talk a bit about how it compares to the Chinese version. That's Philip. So I haven't played a Chinese version as far as I know, but this is the USA version. It's a little bit nicer, and it has Gibson P90 pickups in it. You have the Royal Tan finish. It's just really great because, you know, the neck feels great. It doesn't feel like a toy. It's not plasticky. It's real wood. It's mahogany, and it's just well constructed. So yeah, really great addition for me. Let's see. Jacob K, thank you so much for the super chat. Tell them who you're meeting up with next month. Huh. Who am I meeting up with next month? I will be meeting up with Jacob K, who just contributed a little super chat money, which ensures that I answer all your questions tonight. Yeah, Jacob K is coming up to New York, where I'm based, and we're gonna jam and have fun and go to guitar stores. So if you don't know Jacob K, check out his channel. He is a great dude, great singer, great player, and good friend, most importantly. Thank you, Jacob. Let's see. Was the casino? I already answered that. Hi from Mexico. Hello. Do you like Oasis? I don't really like Oasis. I hate to say that. It's a little embarrassing to say because they're a great band, obviously, but I don't know if it's something about Liam that I just don't like, or maybe 90s music that I have trouble with. So that's me. Hope I don't offend anyone. David Montes again. Hey, David. What is your opinion on the Rock and Roll Circus version of your blues Clapton solo? That's something I might be tackling soon. So, yeah, Rock and Roll Circus, the Rolling Stones set up late 68, right before Get Back, and John teamed up with Eric Clapton, Keith Richards, and Mitch Mitchell, and formed a supergroup for one song, and it was called Dirty Mac. So John is still using the casino. And Eric is playing a hollow body 335 Gibson, Cherry Gibson, with some real nice rock stuff. So instead of George's part, which was more like... Eric was doing more of his improvisational stuff, like what Eric does best that I can't really do. But I'm gonna take a stab at that soon. It's an amazing version. I think it's an E flat, if I'm not mistaken. They tune the guitars down one semitone. Ordep Music, great channel who does Beatles covers as well. Hi Sam, saw you were live and I came to watch and ask, how long have you been playing? You're one of my inspirations on guitar. That's so nice of you. And I really wish to one day have as good hearing as you. Thank you, Ordep. Go check out his channel, by the way. He does great covers. How long have I been playing? I started playing when I was 11 years old. So I'm turning 30 this month. So 19 years. it takes a while to get to where I'm at. I'm still learning. And yeah, thank you for asking that. It's really nice. Think you could ever make full band covers of songs like Riders on the Storm or Baba O'Reilly? Ooh, those are two of my favorites. Rock and Roll, A Whole Lot of Music asked that question. Those are two of my favorite songs. Literally, Riders on the Storm by The Doors, Baba O'Reilly by The Who. I've actually done Baba O'Reilly, believe it or not, on my channel. One of my early covers that might need a little bit of a redo. But yes, definitely. Let's see. Can you play I'm Only Sleeping? Yeah. Tune up here. All right. Anyway, what about pedal Klon Centaur? Really good. That was from Surge. I actually do have a Klon. It's not the Centaur, but it's the Klon KTR, which is the same pedal that was a little more affordable, still made by Klon. I use that on a lot of my covers. I Me Mine. I can't think of any other ones off the spot, but it's a great pedal. Let's see. Nowhere Man Solo. Yeah, I've done that one before. Tuning issues with the Casino. Talk about how good quality it is, but okay. Could you play a little Love Comes to Everyone by George Harrison? If I can remember. I'm going to put my phaser pedal on because that is more reminiscent. I need to cover that one. That's a really good one. I'll get to more of that later, I promise. Cbop says, man, I've always thought everyone plays I Feel Fine's intro wrong, because in the intro finishing the D riff, I hear a very clear trill on 10 to 11th frets on the G. What do you think? That's a great question, because I did the cover of I Feel Fine, just the George parts, on his Gretsch Tennessean. So I use my Gretsch Tennessean, which is a little more simple. But John's intro was done on his J160 acoustic electric plugged in, and you're right, there's a little trill thing. I forget where it is, but he does a little something like, I don't know. I need to look into that, because I didn't do that, John's part of that song. But there's like a little, I don't know if it's an accident or something intentional, but he did a little trill, like you said. It's really cool. Leo Hesse, what's your tone on Get Back? I just talked about that, how John did the tone rolled off on the bridge position of the Casino. I add a little bit of dirt too, just because they were playing really loud. I don't want to play that loud, but yeah, so that's how we did it. So anyone who's just joining me, I wanted to say thank you for joining me today. I just want this to be fun, question, answer, songs played. I just want us to have a good time. So thank you for joining me. And if you want to super chat, just to ensure that I get to your question, that would help me out a lot as well. Let's see. Damn, I've always thought he went to neck pickup from time to time. I never thought of John turning down the tone. He thought he really loved the neck pickup too. I mean, I think John did use the neck pickup a little, but if you look at the rooftop concert, the entire time he's on bridge with the tone rolled down. So almost sounds like a keyboard at times. It's really cool. So I love that. So let me get to more questions. Curtis, thank you for the super chat. You never give me your money. It's got some quiet guitar parts that would be cool to be dissected. Do you think you could do the solo bit? The solo bit I'm still working on, but it's a song that I'm kind of considering doing next even. So if you listen to the outtake of You Never Give Me Your Money from Abbey Road box set that came out 4 years ago now, you hear live how they did it. There probably were some overdubs, but on the far right, you have George's guitar doing this. That whole intro bit. And then, not quite panned all to the right, more centered, you have John's Casino. And what's really interesting is that you have the part that goes, out of college, money spent, and they're just kind of vamping on that. There's nothing too crazy about that. Then, Oh, That Magic Feeling comes, and that's when you get this whole thing. What's really interesting about that part, I always assumed it was Lennon doing that bit on his Casino, but what's interesting is all the way panned to the right, you hear that bit, which must mean that George likely did it on his Les Paul, which leaves Lennon to do the part that's the solo, which you hear panned more centered, so it sounds, I don't know the solo, but I'm just gonna mess with it. I'm not playing it right, but you get the idea. It turns out that's most likely Lennon doing that solo. So, really interesting song. At the end, you have the whole... And there's more vamping and soloing, probably from Lennon. So that's going to be an interesting one to dissect. I'm sorry that I couldn't play the solo part for you exactly right now, but I might be doing that song next, so look out for that one. Play Eruption. Isaiah. Hi, Isaiah. I'm not going to even try Eruption. That is just silly, but I appreciate that. Liam. Hi, Sam. Hey, Liam. Let's see. Do you use the acclaimed Dr. Robert pedal? Yes, I do. I don't have it on my board at the moment, but that is one I use a lot on fixing a hole on the song Dr. Robert. She Said, Taxman, Lady Madonna. I mean, I use that on a lot of stuff. I love the Dr. Robert pedal. Liam also asked, what's the most hardest guitar solo from the Beatles? I don't know. There's a lot of hard ones, but my go-to answer is usually Old Brown Shoe because it's very short and very fast. It's once you learn it, you know it, but it's pretty hard. Very fast. George was amazing. Jacob K, play the South Park theme. Jacob, I'm going to need more money for that one. I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's the best I can do. Hi, Sam. This is my first time watching one of your live streams. Well, welcome. That was XE04. Yeah, welcome everyone who's joining. I really appreciate it. This is fun for me. I hope it's as fun for you as it is for me. Carlos Morula. Hi, Sam. Dirty Max Your Blues is in E flat tuning. That's what I thought. John uses a very rare amp. Clapton uses a dual Showman. Yeah. So, yeah, we're just talking about Dirty Mac. John uses Casino into, I think it was a Blonde Tremolux amp. Keith Richards is plugged into an Ampeg bass amp, playing bass, and Clapton's into the dual Showman. Just amazing performance. I'm trying to get to all these questions. Have you thought about posting more Wings covers? Pack Sky Max asks. Yes. I love Wings. I have some plans for Ram songs. I don't think that's actually technically Wings, but I am going to get to more Band on the Run, such as... and such. Wow, someone else asked, can you play the South Park theme? Got some big South Park fans here. I love it. Trying to get to all your questions. Do you know a good cheap rotary pedal by Peanuts Wilbury? That is a really good question. So I have the Strymon Lex pedal, which is somewhere. It's right here. I use this a lot. So this is an expensive pedal. It's $300, so it's not affordable, but it really, it's digital, but it really recreates the sound of a Leslie. There aren't a lot of cheap options to get a real true Leslie sound. However, what you could do is get a chorus pedal. This chorus pedal on my board right now is from Analog Man, so it's not really affordable. But what you can do with a chorus pedal is you have a slow setting. It's a little more 80s sounding than a Leslie, but it's kind of close. But when you go to the fast setting, it's pretty close to a Leslie. So I would look for a cheap chorus pedal like a Boss CE5 or EHX small clone, something like that. Any favorite Radiohead songs? Yeah, I love Radiohead. One of my favorites is No Surprises. They're amazing. I love them. Henry, number 3, do you plan on doing live at Candlestick Park versions of Beatles songs? I've never thought about that. That's really interesting. I mean, right now, I have the Casino for it, for either John or George, and it's kind of cool because they had, like, really distorted parts for old songs they did, like Day Tripper, but it's, like, really distorted. Yeah, that would be kind of fun. I like that. What do you think of Carl Perkins as a guitarist from Movie Mag? Carl Perkins is one of the greatest singers, guitarists, songwriters ever. He wrote Blue Suede Shoes. Enough said. Matchbox. Glad All Over. Yeah, Carl Perkins. We wouldn't have George Harrison without Carl Perkins. Let's just say that. Let's see. Can you play Michelle? I could play Michelle. I think you had a capo on for that one, but that's the intro. Trying to get to all your questions, guys. I really appreciate the enthusiasm and everything. I'm just gonna try my best, but if you super chat me, I promise you that I will 100% get to your question. This is a good question from Heel BJC. When transcribing out the parts for your covers, do you do the whole thing by ear from scratch or use an existing tab? So I use my ear completely. What I do is I usually go to Rock Band Stems or DLD2 Music. whose channels feature isolated tracks from the band. So that way I can hear the guitars on their own. And I just have experience in some years of listening to guitar parts. For example, if you hear a G chord, you probably think of G like this. But there's also this type of G, a bar chord. It's a very subtle difference. Almost imperceptible. However, the order of the notes, with that open G, you hear that low B. With the bar chord G, you don't have that. You go right to D. So if you tune your ear and slow it down, you can pick out really intimate parts of the songs, and that's what I try to do. I was surprised in I Me Mine, the acoustic part of the song. George goes to open G, but later in the song he goes. So even in the same song, they might change the way they play it. I can't say I'm getting these covers 100% right, ever even, but I think I'm getting close in terms of what's called inversions. So just how they played it, I hope I'm getting it right, and that's all I can hope for. I'm looking into getting a Bassman for guitar. Any thoughts? By Peter Pan. I'm plugged into my Bassman right now, so now is the time to hear it. It's a very, very loud amp, so only if you have the ability to play loud would I recommend it. I'm on 2 right now, volume 2. That is really loud. I might even turn it down. So I would recommend getting a Bassman, especially for bass. It is a killer bass amp, obviously, but it's also great for guitar, and it handles pedals really well. So I couldn't recommend a Bassman enough. However, if you're in a small apartment, I'd probably get like a Princeton or a Champ even. That's the best I can give you. Love that casino tone. Thank you. Hello, can you play the riff of How Do You Sleep? I covered that one recently, but yeah, it's, once again, bridge pickup, tone roll down. That's a quick version for you if you wanted a taste of how to play it. Carlos again, would you like to know about your mixing process? I use the same amps, Sims, and guitars, but it doesn't sound nearly as good as your covers. Do you think it's about vintage gear? Not necessarily. I don't use simulators, so I can't help you necessarily with how to use like a simulator to get a real amp sound. There's a lot of YouTube videos about that, but what I will say is the real deal, the Bassman and the real pedals and everything, it really does help. A good microphone, I have a Neumann condenser mic, so yeah, like it really does help. But that said, I think what's more important is your ears and using your ears to mix your cover. I don't think you can fix necessarily like a bad tone, so get the best tone you can from the start and then tweak. That's what I would do. Without You by Badfinger, make a full band cover. Yeah, that's a really, really good song. I love Badfinger and I covered them recently. Curtis, it's a big mystery to every video I've seen on what guitars were used and who played what too. I think he's talking about You Never Give Me Your Money. Tell me if I'm wrong, Curtis. Ahmad says, what's your opinion on the Arctic Monkeys? They are one of my favorite bands of all time. I love the Arctic Monkeys. I know how to play most of their songs up until the last few albums, but man, they are really good. Check them out. If you don't know the Arctic Monkeys, you gotta check them out. Moo Einstein is here. Hey, Moo. It's Paul, maybe, or George. Shoot, I'm not sure what we were talking about. So I'm not sure what song you're referring to. Hey, Sam, what are your opinions on the Brazilian band Os Mutantes? I do not know them. I definitely should check them out. What is Life by George Harrison? Another one I've covered. Just going to put my fuzz pedal on. Just trying to get through everything. Can you do The Word at some time by Brian Reed? The Word, so Rubber Soul is my favorite Beatles album, and The Word is probably my favorite Strat tone of all time. I don't know why I haven't done it. I think Michael Sokiel did such a good job, I didn't feel the need to, but yeah, I should definitely do it. You're all good for not being able to, I'm just excited for the cover when you get around to it. Curtis was talking about, I think You Never Give Me Your Money. Hey, William Van Cise is here. Nice. Bass on that part is incredible. Looking forward. William Van Cise is my guitar tech. Will is an amazing guitarist that you should check out. He has his own channel too. WM Van Cise, S-I-S-E. He makes it possible. Like on this casino, he set it up. He raised the pickups in the right position. Some of my guitars were unplayable until Will touched them. So thank you, Will. Trying to get to a lot of stuff here. Ordep, what are your thoughts on the King of Tone clone, the King of Clone? I never played it, so I have the King of Tone right here. It's an Analog Man pedal that's very hard to get because there's a waiting list. I had to wait 2.5 years for mine. I got it in 2019, but now the waiting list is up to 5 years. What you can do is go to reverb.com and pay a crazy amount of money, like up to $1,000 to get this pedal. And I wouldn't say it's worth that much money. I think it's one of the best pedals I've ever played, but I think there are alternatives. What you can do is go to Sweetwater or any guitar shop, Guitar Center, whatever. There's something called the Duke of Tone that MXR in collaboration with Analog Man put out. It's a single version of the pedal. So right now I have the drive section. There's two sides. Here's the drive section of the King of Tone. And here's the boost side. So that's actually how I got like the Dr. Robert tone, was the boost side and the casino. Just such a great pedal. It just takes your amp and makes it sound crunchy. It doesn't add anything. It's amazing. But check out the Duke of Tone. It's very affordable. You don't have to wait for it, and you can get these tones. So, win-win. Miel Flores play the rhythmic guitar from Something during the solo. I don't have the Leslie on, but George had a capo on the 3rd fret of his Telecaster. Really out of tune. Go check out my cover. I covered that one, so it will sound in tune and better than what I'm doing now. Michael Guastella, best cover, Beatles covers on YouTube. Thanks for all you put out. Thank you, Michael. That is really generous. Breaking Bad intro. Someone's referring to Badfinger's song Baby Blue that I covered. Once again, I encourage you to listen to my cover of that one. It's in tune as well. Have you considered Cold Turkey, iPro 3 million? Yeah, Cold Turkey is a really great John Lennon song, probably featuring the Casino. Such a great riff. Clapton played on that as well, I believe. Gosh, a lot of questions here. I apologize if I haven't gotten to yours. When did you get this casino? I got this last year in January 2022. So it's been over a year. It's a 2021 new USA model. Really great. Which Lennon's rhythm part do you enjoy playing the most? Gosh, I don't know. I haven't. I've focused so much on George, I haven't gotten into Lennon as much, but I love John's rhythm acoustic guitar stuff. I don't know, like, I really enjoy his stuff on Please Please Me, but as well, Abbey Road, all the way through, he's amazing. Liam, do you think George is underrated guitarist or underrated songwriter? 100%. Oh my God, I can't stress that enough. George is incredible. I even like some of George's stuff from like the 80s that no one listens to, like Gone Troppo and Somewhere in England. George all the way through was amazing. I've discovered Mrs. Vanderbilt the other day and can't stop playing it. That's a great Paul McCartney song. Curtis Ram, does this mean Monkberry Moon Delight or Uncle Albert? Yes, it does. Let's see. Have you listened to Porcupine Tree or Steven Wilson? A little bit, yeah. Steven Wilson's a newer, well, probably not that new, but he's still out there. Amazing guitarist. Kind of prog rock, which isn't necessarily my thing usually, but man, his tones are insane too. Mate, you very vividly resemble Chris from Mr. Beast. I don't know who that is, but I will look that up nervously. Star Wars Empire theme. Okay. May the 4th be with you. Are you ever gonna do I Want You, She's So Heavy? Yeah, definitely. Richard Baker says, do you use a Vox and can you play What Is Life? Yes to both. I have a Vox AC30 and I've covered What Is Life. So go check out my recent covers where I use a Vox and check out my cover of What Is Life. Yeah, everyone wants to hear I Want You, She's So Heavy, so I'm just gonna do that. I will definitely cover that one. I don't know why I haven't yet, honestly. Heisenbra, you're the best Beatles and other cover channel. That's not true in my mind, but it's very generous of you. I have no idea how long I've been going on, so if you're still here with me, thank you for being with me. I don't know why you even would be at this point. Play Cry Baby Cry. Have you ever played through a Boss Katana amp? No, I've heard them in person and they're really great. They're not real tube amps, which isn't my thing, but doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. They actually do a really good job of like clean tube amp kind of tones. I don't know about crunching up how good they are. Like I prefer a tube amp and a real pedal, overdrive pedal. Hello, are you ever eventually going to cover Rain? Yes, that is one I'm going to do soon. There's a weird tuning on there. That's all I'll say. Do you watch Galileo Fruita's channel, Beatles Harmonies? Oh, is that the guy that does like, he's kind of like got gray hair and he does like all the side-by-side harmonies? He's great, if that's who you're talking about. I love your George Harrison covers. Please do Blow Away, All Those Years Ago, or Love Comes to Everyone. There's so many George I have to do because he's my favorite. I'm trying to get to all these questions. I'm sorry that this is hard for you guys to bear. If you want your question to be answered for sure, please super chat me. I don't think we've ever seen you play piano yet, Dorkel. Yes, I actually, earlier on I did Maybe I'm Amazed and Hello Goodbye and Martha My Dear on piano, so go check out my my playing where I don't apparently use my right thumb. That's an inside joke. Punk Mario Bros, what is your favorite guitar and amp combo, and what is your favorite pedal? Short answer is my Telecaster. I just love Telecasters, and I love my Fender Pro Reverb. It's right there. It's a silver face 1974 Pro Reverb amp, and my favorite pedal probably is my, hold on, is my 1975 MXR Phase 100 phaser pedal. It's an incredible vintage pedal that's heard on Grateful Dead, Rolling Stones, Some Girls, Bruce Springsteen, The Clash, London Calling. That's my favorite. Have you thought about covering songs by Queen? Absolutely. They are in my top 3 bands of all time. I just don't have a red special that makes it a little difficult. Jacob K. I don't want to be a pirate, a cowboy, or Switzerland. I'd be a cowboy. Do you plan on using your sitar again, Blazik? Yes. I'm still learning. It's a very difficult instrument. I'm hoping to do Paint It Black by Rolling Stones. That's easier, but Love You Too by the Beatles is very difficult, so I'm not sure when I'll actually learn that. I need to like actually set up my sitar to be played properly. You should definitely do George Harrison's pirate song. Yeah, I definitely should, and dress up like a pirate. Hello, Sam. I love your covers. It would be amazing to see Back in the USSR Take 5. Yeah, he's talking about the one that's, the way they recorded it was in G. And then they sped it up. So I should do it in G. That would be cool. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out my latest covers of Oh Darling and Ticket to Ride, please do that, because those were really fun to do. Do you know a lower end tube modeling amp that could accurately recreate Beatles tones? I don't know. That's the thing, is I'm not into modeling or simulators. I use all real analog because I'm like a gear snob, but someone said the Boss Katana. I think those sorts of amps are really good. It's getting better and better. I don't think I would have recommended these amps, the modeling amps, before, but they're getting really good, so yeah. Can you clarify the strumming pattern for I'm Happy Just to Dance With You? That's a great song. I'll just try to play it my best. Forgot the augmented chord there. Is your next cover another Abbey Road song? Henry number 3. I think you already know that. I've talked to you about this before. You know. Ordep, I Want You is one of the songs when you play, you just start jamming out of nowhere. Yeah, it's just like a great jamming songs. Leo, we've been here for 50 minutes and I'm still here. Hats off to you guys for still being here. Miel Flores, play the sitar. I feel like I'm not going to get to some questions, but let's do a quick sitar thing. I'll be right with you with my sitar. So, yeah, you guys probably haven't seen this up close before. This is my Huron Roy travel sitar. It's a little shorter and it has guitar tuners. I'm really not very good at it, but I'm not sitting the proper way, but I want you to see it. Yeah, it's gonna take some work. I think I've figured out how to sort of play it physically, but learning the actual frets, because, I don't know, making excuses right now. It's a really hard instrument, but, you know, I just got to actually do it. I think that's about all I can handle right now. Okay. I'm going to pick up the J200 again. I think we're nearing the end because it's been almost an hour, but I want to get to your questions. Do you know Joni Mitchell? I mean, yeah, of course I know Joni Mitchell. She's amazing. Will you do an Arctic Monkeys cover? I think House is a Circus would be a nice one. That's a deep cut. Yeah, I'll definitely do some of the earlier Arctic Monkeys songs, especially from like Humbug and Suck It and See, stuff like that. What do you think of Ringo being the only Beatle? Well, we have Paul McCartney with us, the great Sir Paul. Let's see. I want to get to your questions, guys. Sorry, I'm going up instead of from up to down. I'm going down to up. If you're still watching, I feel bad for you. What audio interface do you use and what DAW? So I use a Focusrite Sapphire Pro 40. Has 8 inputs so I can record drums, and then I use Pro Tools. So most of my preamp compression effect stuff comes in plugins afterwards, Waves plugins. Someone said that in the chat. That's what I was trying to figure out. I think he probably uses Waves plugins, Dorkel. Yeah, I don't know how you know that, but that's true. Okay. Dorkel, he's the only Beatle. The other Beatles are just a result of Ringo moving really fast. Yes, it's all Ringo's band anyway. I'm confused with how John played Ticket to Ride. In live, I only see that playing A. So, yeah, the song is in A, but there's, the recording was maybe slowed down, or maybe they recorded it at, in a lower key slightly, like their guitars were tuned down a little bit. So if you watch my cover that I just did, John is actually strumming A to D. But live, he kind of stays on A to A sus a little bit. That was interesting for me to learn. That he did A to D in the thing. Username, bro, do you have perfect pitch? No, I do not. I'm really shocked you played She Said exactly the same. That was dope. Thank you. No, I do not have perfect pitch at all. When I try to sing, it's quite painful. I think you could tell from my sitar playing, I cannot stay in pitch a lot, but my videos are a result of me spending hours getting it right. I do 100 takes sometimes, so it looks better than it really is. 55 minutes now, Leo. Thank you. I'm gonna end soon because I feel like I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I want to answer your questions. Let's see. Play When We Was Fab. I forget what key that's in. Something like that. I need to actually cover that one. Round of applause to Ravi Shankar. Seriously though, that looks really hard to play. Yeah, I mean, watching me play sitar isn't impressive, but like watching Ravi play it is like how it really should be done. It takes years and years and years. So, have you thought of doing ELO covers? I'm just getting into ELO. Mr. Blue Sky is a really good song. I don't know how much I can really cover that one, but there's some guitar ones that are really good. Let's see. Can you play the Fender Bass 6? Yeah, I can do that in a second. Have you ever played For You Blue or Working Class Hero or a non-Beatles song like Feeling Groovy? I've done some non-Beatles songs like The Doors and The Who and Bruce Springsteen a little bit, but I have a lot more plans to do more non-Beatles stuff. I can stay here all night, Leah. Well, it's just going to be you and me. How did you get that much gear? I think I answered that earlier. I've been playing for a long time. I've gotten a lot of gifts for birthdays and such, and just saved up money from work and just luck, a lot of luck. Last thing to say, if you ever heard Armonia, City in the Sky by The Who, fun fact, according to Speedy Keen, the writer, it should have been I'm an ear sitting in the sky. I did know that. I'm a really big Who fan, and that album, Who Sell Out, is one of my favorites of all time. Henry 3 wants me to play Long, Long, Long. I figure if I have the J200, I might as well. Wrong chord. Great song. Trying to get to all your questions, guys. Do you often use augmented chords in your own songs? Yeah, I just released that music video for my song I Get Tired. If you guys want to know how I play that, it's in, the key is really like G sharp, but the song starts in C sharp minor to G sharp, back and forth, and then I go C sharp minor to E augmented, back to G sharp. So that kind of chord is used in the Beatles a lot. I can't think of any off the spot, but a lot of augmented stuff in the Beatles, so I'm obviously inspired. Daryl McCartney, welcome McCartney. You're doing well, Sam. I've watched a lot of your videos. Have you done Jealous Guy? Are you a reader as well? Lewison's Tune In. I haven't done Jealous Guy, and I haven't read Tune In yet, although I do have the book. It's just like 1,000 pages. So, yeah. Oh, Dorkel knew that I use augmented chords and I Get Tired. Wow, that is impressive. I hope one day you cover No Matter What by Badfinger, Adam Wright. I'll let you in on a little secret that my good friend Andrew Weiss, who I play music with, owns a Firebird, a 1976 Firebird, which that guitar was used on the song No Matter What along with an SG. So we're going to cover no matter what together. He's a great drummer as well and has a Rick bass. I know you guys are probably excited to hear that. So a lot of good stuff coming that way. Do you have in mind a cover of Revolution 1? Yes, definitely. I think I need to cover Revolution first. Last question, what do you recommend for beginner guitarist? Do you mean, well, they said something else. Are you tips or things you should know for beginner guitarist? Okay, so not so much what guitar to use, but what to learn. I teach guitar. If you guys ever want me as a teacher, you can email me too, or find me on Instagram at Shire Plucker. But what I recommend for most of my students is you start with the open chords, like G, D, E minor, and C. If you know those 4 chords, and then you get a good strumming with your right hand going. You can play a lot of songs that way. You could, put a capo on and do those same chords and play almost any song just with those 4 chords. So that's what I would say quickly about it. Since you said Arctic Monkeys are one of your favorite bands, even though it might have been off topic to your channel, do you think on covering songs by them? Yeah, I think I'd mentioned that. I think I want to do like Fluorescent Adolescent, Crying Lightning, God, there's some, Cornerstone. There's a lot of songs by them I really love. Do you plan on doing more Who covers? Absolutely. I have a 1970 SG special, which I bought because of Pete Townsend, so a lot of Who stuff coming, definitely. Davies Watts, that sounds like a Kinks reference. Do you know all Beatles songs from memory? Kind of. Like you probably saw earlier, I can't necessarily play every solo, although I'm learning as I'm doing these covers a lot more. But yeah, I know I'm good at memorizing chords at least. So if you said play Blackbird, which I think I'm just gonna do because someone else said that, I learned that, so I remember that. That's a specific riff though, like with chords, like Sexy Sadie, I memorized that one. It's been years and years, so it's more just experience rather than me having some amazing ear. It's just a lot of playing and practicing, which I would recommend. Any Ruddles covers coming up? Maybe Cheese and Onions. Could you make a cover of the Who's "See My Way"? That's a kind of a rare one. Yeah, I think I'll do that one. I think the Who ones I want to cover are Live at Leeds ones, like Shakin' All Over and Summertime Blues, Heaven and Hell. Tommy, the whole album, I want to cover that. A lot coming. We need a Dear Prudence cover. I'm wondering how you'll get the casino tone. That's what I need to figure out. Do you guys think Dear Prudence was the casino or the J160? I'm going to put a poll in here because I can do that now. 1 second here. All right, now you can answer this question. This is fun. Okay, so do you think that Dear Prudence was a casino or a J160? Because I think that John might have used the J160 plugged in and done it that way, in which case I probably can't cover it really until I get that. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Mother Nature's Son is beautiful on guitar. That's another good one. Any tips for someone who wants to make a career from music? I don't have a career in music. This is more of a hobby, so I can't speak to that necessarily, although I'm trying. I really want to be a musician full-time. I would just say keep practicing, get better and better, go to open mics, sing as much as you can, and use your connections. Get on social media, even if it's painful. It may not be the best advice, but I'm glad that I did, because now I have all you guys to thank for all this encouragement. So just keep doing what you're doing and try your best. Don't give up. Do you like the Mamas and the Papas? Yes. that's California dreaming. What's your opinion about the Vox Super Beetle, that giant amp? I like that tone. I think you mean the older ones, because they made a newer one that's not the same. It's like a smaller stacked amp. The old ones are great. I mean, the Who used that. Beatles used it live. It's kind of a weird amp because it's not fully a tube amp, but I mean, it's on all those live Beatles albums, so it's great. I never played one. Could you do more covers of John Entwistle's solo material? Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of some of his songs, solo songs. I don't know his solo songs as well, but Heaven and Hell is one of my favorite ones. Creek Alley, underrated by Mamas and Papas. Let's see what you guys said about Dear Prudence. 72% say that it was a casino. That's interesting. In which case, I will definitely cover it. I just need to figure that out first. I know how to play it. Could have been D28 on Dear Prudence. I don't think it was D28 because it does sound electric. So it was either the J160 plugged in or the casino, I think. Wouldn't that be for the Escher demos? Yeah, I think the D28 could have been in the demo version. Do you have your keyboard on? You know what's funny is I do. You guys might not be able to see this, but I can plug in my guitar lead into the back of my pianette. And now you can hear me play piano. See if you can see what I'm doing here. So this is how I did like Madman. Or Getting Better. Yeah, this pianette is not mine. It's gonna go soon, so I need to do You Like Me Too Much. So I need to do that one. The only other one, this wasn't played on a piano, but it could be the Billy Preston. I'm not a great pianist, so just trying to slowly do those ones. All right, guys, I'm gonna get going soon, so I want to answer a few more questions. What are your thoughts on the Kinks? Yeah, I love the Kinks. Definitely gonna do some Village Green Preservation Society soon. Henry says, I hear both. Yeah, it could have been Casino and J160. Henry says, I hear D28 Casino and Les Paul. That's interesting. Do you like the Beatles? Ben Bryant. Not at all. This is all just a ruse, just to make some money from you guys. It's just a money-making machine. Will we hear more Wings covers? Yeah, I think I touched on that. Definitely. Nate can't afford a Rickenbacker. Any cheap alternatives? 12 or 6. Rickenbackers are really specific guitars. It's hard to say. I mean, you could get like a Gretsch or a Stratocaster, but what you could do is like what Dom Rossi or Duodet have done, which is go get a Chickenbacker. It's like a knockoff Rickenbacker. Message me on Instagram if you want for help with that. Let's see. Say you were starting a guitar hobby from scratch for $1,000. What gear, guitar, amps, effects would you get that fits the music you usually play? That's a fun question. See, $1,000 doesn't get you that far if you want, like, you know, because an amp, let's say, costs at least $500. So let's say we get a nice Fender amp for about $500, like a Blues Junior or a Hot Rod Deluxe, which might even be more. You're only left with $500 for a guitar. So maybe if you're really on that budget, like a Squier Strat or Tele, and then you can get like a cheap Fender amp or a Vox amp, like a AC-15. you're not left with many pedals because, you know, you've already spent $1,000. But I would recommend a fuzz or overdrive pedal and maybe a delay pedal. That's about all you can really get, honestly, with that. But it's unfortunate how much gear costs. How do they play the tone in I Want You, She's So Heavy last section riff? That was a bunch of guitars built up and overdubbed and layered. So you have George on the telly, I believe, John on Casino. My Casino's not plugged in. They might have used a little tape flanging as well. Trying to get to some questions. I'm a new guitar player and your videos are so inspiring for me. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad people are still with me on this live stream. The Beatles are what got me into guitar. Thank you for posting such high quality covers. That was from Iris Thistle. Thank you so much. If you have any questions and you need help, I'm always here. Let's see. Have you ever listened to Sub Rosa by Klaatu? No. People keep talking about Klaatu. I don't know what that is. Someone's going to have to tell me. Harley Benton's good on a budget. Oh, yeah. So that's... I thought Harley Benton only did the Rick basses, but I guess they do Rickenbacker guitars. That's a good one. Do you like Within You, Without You? Yeah, of course. Are you going to rock that Casino, The World Tonight, or any Ram tracks? Yeah. So that's all those Wings... and Paul McCartney solo songs I'm going to do on the Casino, or maybe a Firebird, or Telly, I guess. Let's see. Is that a little cat house in the background behind you? Yes. Yes, that is for my little cat. Is Come Together on the table. I hear Les Paul playing rhythm and outro solo, and both Casino and Les Paul for middle solo. So that's a contentious thing. I'm definitely of the camp that Les Paul is doing this bit. Because in the outtake you hear John doing the claps and the shoot me stuff. So that's gotta be the Les Paul. And then it sounds like in the chorus it's still one guitar. Could have been two. Then in the solo you start to hear more guitars, like all that stuff, and the harmonies. So there, yeah, the Casino probably is in there somewhere. Abley House did a really good cover. I'm still not decided on what happens after the intro and verses, but we'll do that soon. How many guitars are there in Here Comes the Sun? I just did that one as well. So you have two acoustic J200s, like this, with the capo up here. So there's two acoustics. You have the Telecaster doing the Leslie part. Can't play without a capo. And then you have a Strat doing the solo, but that didn't make it onto the final version. So I think there's only 3 guitars. Excuse me, 2 acoustics and a Telecaster. What do you think about Without You, Sgt. Pepper's? I can't believe people think I don't even like it. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I love it. I'm a big Eastern spirituality fan, and George has inspired me in many ways other than music, with life and philosophy, so that song is especially meaningful to me. If anything, you can get a Fender Champion 40 or 50 with built-in effects for $250, and the rest to buy a guitar or 2. Philip D. Yeah, that's a great option too. There's some amps, obviously, that do it all in one for very cheap. But they aren't my favorite, though. I would still recommend you get a really good amp to start, like a tube amp, like a AC-15. And then, obviously, the guitar is important, but to me, the amp is really where all the tone comes from. That's just my opinion. I would say get a Squier or Epiphone guitar and a really nice amp, and then you're kind of set. As long as you can get some overdrive going, like a cheap overdrive pedal or the amp somehow with one. I always assumed I Want You, She's So Heavy was the SG. Oh, that's interesting, Oscar. I think it's George on Les Paul, because at that point, George, I believe, had already given away his SG to Badfinger, the band, in 1969. So all he had was the Les Paul Strat Telecaster. Do you like anything from prog rock? Sort of. I really love Pink Floyd. I don't know if Pink Floyd stuff is considered prog rock. Yes is a really great band. It's not really my thing, but I certainly like a lot of 70s rock. How do you feel about songwriting? I just started writing a song a few days ago, and I think it's one of my best songs. I'm finally happy that I wrote something that I think is really good. Yeah, I'm really insecure about my songwriting, which was so encouraging when I put out my song "I Get Tired" for you guys. How much feedback I got that was really positive. I think feeling good about yourself and your songs is a necessity. I think it's so important. Otherwise, you start to get crazy ideas in your head about yourself, and you're insecure, and I certainly struggle with that currently. So just keep writing. I think if you just, it's like a muscle you have to exercise and just keep doing it. That's when my best songs come out, is just almost out of nowhere, just because I keep putting myself out there. The second I start to get insecure, I could go a year without writing a song. So just feel good about yourself and just try your best. Oh, okay. Someone said Klaatu was rumored to be the Beatles reunion band in the 70s. I have heard of that. There's some record that people were convinced were the Beatles, but it wasn't. But people really thought, back then there was no internet, they couldn't debunk it. They really thought it was a reunion. That's funny. It sounded pretty good from what I remember. Let's see. The band Yes got me into prog rock. Yes is fantastic. Which Beatles solo career is the best in your opinion? I'm going to say George Harrison. I know that Paul McCartney's had a longer career, and it's really amazing, and I love Paul's stuff, but I'm just a really big fan of George's, and I think up until he died, he was writing songs that were as good. Like his album Brainwash before he died is just incredible. So I'm going to say George, although John, everyone was so good. Thoughts on Love Comes to Everyone? I think I just answered that. George Harrison from 1979, that album is underrated as well. I love all of his stuff. Like, I could listen to like the worst of George Harrison. Extra Texture, I think, is the only one I struggle with a little bit. But Love Comes to Everyone is a great song with Eric Clapton on it. Someone is asking for Let It Bleed, not Let It Be. Let It Bleed is a Rolling Stones song from around the same time. Put a capo on the 3rd fret and play an E. And use a J200 guitar like this. So that's how you play Let It Bleed. Thanks for your answer earlier. Last question. What guitar do you think was used in the Who's studio recording of I Can't Explain? Definitely the 12-string Rickenbacker. I might cover that soon as well. P was using both a 6-string and a 12-string on different songs, but it's definitely the 12-string on that song. Let's see, by then George had gifted the SG to Pete Ham. Henry III is clarifying that. So yeah, by then, Abbey Road, George did not have an SG. I think that's important to remember. I forgot about that. I think the solo was either the Casino or the Les Paul. I think he's talking about Come Together. Tones sound somewhat similar to the Come Together and Get Back solo tone. I think George and John probably were harmonizing. Harmony, I think, is... I don't know. I have to figure that one out. But I think, yeah, John and George both played on that for sure. Can you play Any Road by George Harrison? Yes. asks, are you in a band or just a hired gun? I am in a band called Uncle Kingsley. Check us out on Spotify. I'm going to write it in here for anyone who wants to find us. Yeah, Uncle Kingsley on Spotify. We have an album out from 2 years ago. It's me and my fiance Lily. I remember when I learned From Me to You, I did realize how fast they could change or add different chords. Yeah, that's a really good one. Do you think it was a bottleneck slide on Come Together? No, I don't think it was a slide. I really do think it was bending only. Ollie, hey Sam, how's your collab with Lucas going? Good, very good. Yeah, Lucas is another great Beatles channel. The 2 Beats. So I can't say much about it, but it's going really well. Can you play the intro to Revolution 9 on guitar? I think that was a piano on Revolution 9, unless you mean Revolution 1. So, guys, I'm gonna leave now because it's been a while, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me. Please check me out on Instagram, Shire Plucker, and my page 3 Savile Row, which is all Beatles. You'd probably be really interested in that, and it's all the Get Back era Savile Row Twickenham sessions. I put up reels that are from the Get Back movie, so check that out. 3 Savile Row. Check out my band Uncle Kingsley. Jacob K, see you next time, folks. Dorkel, have a good day. Sam, have a good day to all you guys. Daryl McCartney says take care. Very inspiring. Leo doesn't want me to leave. I think it's a good time. I think that this was really great, and thank you so much for joining me. And let's do this more. This was great. Jacob K says play the My Little Pony theme to close us off. It's sad that I even know that. That's the worst part. I don't think he even wanted me to play that. I'll play you out with something better than My Little Pony. I think it's difficult to match that, but let's see. Any requests, guys, before I go to end this? That's not My Little Pony. I hope that there's something better than that. Come on, we can do better. We can do better than that. Come on. I Want You. I kind of did that one. What if I do Goodbye from Paul McCartney? That's a good one. For You Blue. All right, For You Blue's got a few. All right, let's do For You Blue. And then I Will Leave You for the Night. Yes.